Those are the top stories on the Midday View on ENCA, DSTV channel 403. Now let's focus on this story. Government says it wants to grow the local cannabis industry. The Agriculture Department has released a plan to this effect. The aim is to turn the industry into a viable business sector for the country. Well, let's speak more on this now. We're joined by the Cannabis Trade Association Africa's Antony Cohen. Antony, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. I understand that this latest draft of these new rules or this legislation or regulation is taking matters a little bit forward. Your association, do you welcome the latest regulations, the way they stand, or do you think they could still be improved a bit more?
Well, we definitely welcome the engagement from the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. For us, it's been quite a good start. You know, at the moment, this is a draft format. So for us to be able to engage with government has been a good step. They are doing a very good job, and they have engaged with quite a number of stakeholders. So the government is really moving the dial forward, and the government has a lot of political will to do so. However, there's a really huge disconnect between what the government is wanting to do and what the regulators are doing. So the regulators have hamstrung the industry. The industry is all tied up in draconian or regulatory measures.
But isn't that because of the existing legislation?
Well, we had this ruling in 2018 to open up the cannabis sector. We've now got the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform moving towards a publication only in 2023, which, quite frankly, the horses are already bolted by then.
But Antony, the 2018 ruling by the court was more for personal use in your private space, was it not?
It was for personal use in private space, and they had to come up with a ruling that could actually create, let's say, this more industry-wide accepted and to be legislated into law. All those things haven't happened yet.
So you're concerned about the pace. You're concerned about the pace of reform for the industry. Though you welcome the engagement, you think things could be expedited quite a bit. What would you like to see change then?
Well, there are a number of things that we'd like to see. We'd like to see the fast track of the hemp industry. First of all, the industrial hemp industry needs to be fast tracked. We don't need heavy licenses. We don't need over regulated environments. It just needs to be a simple license to
No, we lost
tomatoes.
Oh, Antony, are you back? Are you back? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these plants are not intoxicating. They have got no ability to create harm or dependency. There's nothing that's stopping it, and it is hamstringing the industry and the ability for South Africa to export. We already have a lot of exports happening in other markets around the world, and we're being left behind.
Yeah, just from a terminology perspective, just educate us here for a short while. You're using the word hemp. In my introduction, I spoke about cannabis. Sometimes you hear marijuana being thrown in there. Is it the same kind of product we're talking about here?
Well, there is a difference between marijuana and hemp. Yes, they are both cannabis. They come from the.
Oh, Antony, it's not playing with us.
Hemp is very low in THC.
Sorry.
Can you not?
No, we lost you there for a little bit, and you came back. It keeps on freezing, and let's continue. You don't have to move. You can stay where you are. You were saying there is a difference between marijuana and hemp.
Yes, and that difference is the level of THC within the plant. THC is the compound that makes one high and creates a recreational type element to it. So hemp is very low in THC. It doesn't make you high. Has been shown worldwide to be very effective in various different industries. It has over 4,000 different uses, and from plastics to paper to building to homes to bricks to cement, and also for therapeutic purposes. All those things can be fast-tracked within the South African system.
Okay, yeah, because mostly when we in the media we talk about this industry, we use the word cannabis, but you are talking about the two streams, hemp being one and marijuana, dacha being the other one. But on the industry perspective, from a hemp perspective, do you think the government has got an understanding that these new rules that are now out will differentiate properly?
Well, the rules are not out. It's a draft legislation that's only going to be enacted in 223.
Yeah, I'm talking about the draft itself. Do you think it differentiates this clearly so that you are enabled to engage properly to get to an outcome that will satisfy you?
No, we don't think so. We've been able to submit our responses to the Department of Agriculture and Land Reform as the CTAA. We believe that there's some things that can be done quite easily and quickly to be able to fast-track the industry, as well as the marijuana sector, because at the moment the marijuana sector is locking out a lot of people, especially the traditional farmers, with these high regulatory hurdles that people need to jump through, at very costly. We could have a much more inclusionary methodology and regulatory stance. And we are being left behind. These things we've been talking since 2016, 2017 about these measures. 2018, we had some court cases. It's now 2021. And we're still in the dark, really, with regards to how we can do this effectively and get people employed and get the South Africa's skilled workers upskilled into the cannabis sector, and be able to take the cannabis sector to be able to create income via tax and revenue for government. All these things, we need to reduce regulatory hurdles to do so.
I think you're very clear. Your message is clear. Thank you very much, Antony Cohen from the Cannabis Trade Association Africa, wanting less regulation and faster move towards boosting this industry.